Greetings, Earthlings. Yes, it is a fabulous and enviable ensemble I'm wearing. You're right. This is pineapple. There is a method to my madness. I just want to say that if you think this crazy, goofy look is indicative of the mood I'm in or how I'm feeling or what I've been through today or this week, you'd be wrong. It is the exact opposite, actually. I decided upon this outfit, which is a replica of an outfit from my youth, my way youth, like when we moved to this house, and I was 6 or 7, I think, here. But this particular photograph, we're going to get right up close there. There I am. There's a Google eye that I stuck onto my head. Please note the footwear, note the details, the single glove, Pineapple the monkey. Wish I could focus on it a little better. Pineapple the monkey. I could not find the stethoscope in the basement. The tank top I've had since the early years of life. Actually, I'm going to say that I'm about 10 here. I think I'm about 10. Because the tank top is indicative of like when I first kind of started being really into the MTV look. And that was like at Zoomies or something. Something that sort of made me feel like a skater, made me feel kind of cool. Kind of like, yeah, I'm hip. But of course, naturally, this is my real personality that comes out at home. And this was just, like a Tuesday. Like, it was just a day where I was just kind of like, what's in the basement? What's cooking here? What should I put on? Oh, this works. There's no reason or rationale for this at all, which there should rarely be for things, because fuck rationale. It's just going to blow your mind in a few seconds and be the exact opposite of what you thought anyway. So go for it. You want to put on an outfit like this? You want to wear it to the grocery store? Just do it. But so I picked this outfit because I have a bunch of pictures from my childhood and my life that are hung up on my door with the like blue sticky putty. And they've been kind of falling off and they've been kind of driving me crazy. See, I even got the red hat. They've been kind of driving me nuts, falling off a lot, all these sentiments, but I like refuse to give up on it or take them down because they're just the memories that I want showing when you walk into my bedroom. But this one in particular kept just falling off the door all the way and falling to the ground and stressing me out. And just kept having to pick it up and sticky putty it back on the door and grumbling about it. And then so today, after a lot of crazy shit's been going down this week, I thought, I'm going to bring this goofball out. This is the goofball I want to show you tonight. And I was going to pick my poems and my stuff I wanted to read subsequently from this goofball vibration. And I wanted to be her because I feel like this is the most me I can be. Not trying to impress anybody here. I'm just hanging out at home with Pineapple the monkey. This is the same pom-poms too. Not the super cool pom-poms I mentioned in the other video that I'm going to bust out at another time. But these are them pom-poms right there. And I had to dig ferociously through the basement for this single glittering stocking, which I want you to know I found. And I've held on to because as like a 5-year-old, when I found this single stocking that has no match, I thought, that's burlesque, baby, and I want it. And I've held on to it ever since. But so that's what struck me, is this little character right here, which is like the purest version of my soul before I started handing out chunks of my heart that people didn't deserve and trying to be cool and trying to be this and trying to be that. I was this person. And since making that decision, that's the me I wanted to bring out, I found another tank top from like circa 10 years old because I think somehow I gave that one away and I was real sad about it. But pulled out all the other pieces and then a bunch of really bad shit has happened tonight that made me almost want to stop. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, I think I just lost a 13-year-long friendship from some really deeply disturbing stuff. I'm not even gonna get into it. It's fucking crazy. Hospital stuff. I mean, bad stuff, guys. I'm not just saying, like, I got a splinter and a hangnail and somebody said one mean thing to me. We're talking like, wow. Wanted to crawl underground the past couple hours and just bunker in an underground safe house that is like no internet connection, no sense of what's going on, because it's like a little bit too much right now. But then I figured, you know what I'm gonna do when the whole universe is trying to push against me and say, nope, it's too hard, you better not, you better give up, you better just shut up. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna put my pom-poms on. I'm gonna do exactly what I intended to do, which is be my 10-year-old self who's not afraid of all that shit, and just bring it, because maybe it'll help somebody out there who's feeling like they can't even dig down deep enough for a better version of themselves. This is for you, because I promise you, I'm not feeling great right now. Promise. But I brought Pineapple the monkey with me. He's been with me since I was born, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, that's right. Me and Pineapple. And I used to carry him around just like this on the playground. And teachers thought it was weird. And they were like, you can't bring toys to school like that. And I was like, well, it's not a toy. It's an accessory. It's a scarf, okay? I'm cold. Or whatever funny shit I said. But yeah, he's been with me from the very get-go. And he's not going to say horrible, disturbing things to me, like things I just heard tonight. Never. Never will he ever. He's my homie. So I brought him along, just trying to show you a pure part of me, because I don't even really know how to be right now, guys. I don't. I feel super taxed and just kind of scared and overwhelmed. Terrified that maybe the whimsy is just getting sucked out right now. The sparkly part, the believing, have a lot of deep down fears that stuff is getting replaced with some way more sinister stuff right now. But I'm gonna just confide in my old pal Pineapple here and try to bring you some realness, some me. So obviously I picked this exact location because I am currently in that exact location, and my mom said some really hilarious shit about she was like, where are you gonna do the poem? And I said, well, in front of the door, like the picture. And this is kind of how I'm looking in the picture. I don't know, something like that. And she said, oh, right, in front of the door. Well, it's as ugly now as it was then. It's funny. I mean, yeah, it's great. I love it. It's our door. It's the doorway to our home, which I love. But it ain't fancy. It's never been fancy. It's all scratched up. But that don't mean it's not beautiful. That don't mean it's not home, you know? But before some, like, actually next level bad shit kind of went down this evening, my best friend and I were just talking about, like, the general roughness and the anxiety and just trying to, like, leave the house to go anywhere. And she was saying, yeah, just so many aggressive people everywhere all the time. I'm just like, where did you come from? Why are you all trying to get to the same place? Where are you going? And I said, yeah, like, where did you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. That was my response. Because it does feel crazy. You just got to make fun of it because it's... you can't be nowhere. I mean, we went for a walk today on our, like, quaint little river trail that used to just be our, like, strolling. And it was, like, the Indy 500. Fucking bicycles not saying on your left. And people just clamoring, like... like my boyfriend said, yeah, I don't know, this pandemic, it's like everybody's trying to learn how to be human again, and we didn't even know that we had forgotten, and we're not doing a super job of it, so we're all kind of in each other's ways. And the commercials would like to lead us to believe that we're all being like super kind and accommodating for each other, but I'm not super feeling that. And so she said, yeah, like, could you go somewhere else? Just every day, relentless pushiness. People are always like, live, laugh, love. Oh, this was another thing that she was venting about, is being different, being sensitive in the world, because that's another thing that happened today. We're on our river trail, and there was these two youngsters, but I say youngsters like they were beefy 18-year-olds, and they had like airsoft rifles, and to me, from them like walking down the path towards me, they look like rifles to me. And I don't know if I'm the only one out there, but I was sensitive as fuck to that, like sphincter tightening, fear, what's going on, is that a real gun? And I live in an area where it's kind of like, could be one way or the other, you don't really know. And you know, my boyfriend was saying like, well, you know, I was a kid running around a neighborhood with an airsoft gun, and I said, first of all, these were not kids, they were beefy 18-year-olds. And why it bothered me is because it was kind of like obvious in my demeanor, or I don't know, I just feel like you can pick up on a lot from people in 5 seconds, like a whole lot. And it was clear, I think, that I was like a little nervous and a little like, are those real guns or what's going on? And I'm just trying to go for a pleasant walk, you know? And instead of the like, oh, like you could just give me the like old Western kind of tip of your head. No, ma'am, it's okay. Like, this is just an airsoft gun. And you don't have to say anything. With your energy, you can say, I see you as a human and I don't pose a threat to you. But instead, it was that kind of like, yeah, I'm walking with this thing that looks like a gun. What are you gonna do about it? And I was trying to explain, like, I'm not trying to make it a sexism, feminine, masculine thing, but it's hard to describe what it's like to be a woman. And my best friend and I talk about this all the time, that there's kind of a perceived threat everywhere you go. And I hate to say that, but if you have a spongy soul, a deep feeling soul, and there's all these like, here in my white truck and I have every right to be here and I'm it's very threatening. It's a threatening feeling and I don't like it. So her and I are extremely sensitive people with a lot of anxiety. Yeah, I don't have enough time in this one evening to describe to you the things my best friend has gone through in her life. But people are always trying to tell her to feel some other different way than what she feels. And she's been through some like crazy, unimaginably bad shit. And what she was kind of venting about was like, people are always trying to give you the like, live, laugh, love sign kind of style advice. Like, well, it's okay to be different until you are. And then people are like, what's wrong with you? Or why don't you look at it this way instead? Like, oh yes, so accepting you all are with your fake ass signs of inclusivity and love until someone is actually different. Like, this is just how I function in the world and it's not super easy, but somebody's always gotta like, well, haven't you heard this quote about it? Why don't you just feel this way about it? And it's like, damn, dude, why is everybody always talking about so much like, it's fine to be exactly who you are, until you're like exactly who you are, and then they're like, well, maybe you could try something different, or just like shave your armpits, or just like curate yourself a little differently. I don't know, it's frustrating. So the writings I ended up choosing are from my revolutionary journal, and it's also my alien journal. There's a lot of good content in there. There's this cute little alien with this cute little freaking shiny belly button on here. And I found really like a lot of good content in here, so just kind of go through it and give you some of it. So this front page looks a little like this, and it says, the point of this is that we invented this game, Slanted Sun. Some made in this factory and some made in that factory, so neither factory knows the secret magic. Magic designer, super top secret. It's important to re-enchant yourself once in a while. Revolve, evolve, evolution. We need our antennas to stretch and be clean, to feel and sense what's coming. The naked uniform is the only uniform. Agreed. So there's that little intro to the revolution. And I'm going to try to... sorry, I got to take off this single glove. I can't feel what I'm doing. It's just that it's, it's in the picture. There it is. Same glove. Same thing, same thing. I even have like this tied on my foot because for whatever reason I decided it would be tied on my foot in this picture. Now I have my mobile little finger tools. But so I'm going to try to give credit where credit's due in this. There's some things in here though, like sometimes I just get in these real deep places and I write down everything people are saying or what's in the movie or what's in the moment or what's on the sign over there. So there's some of the stuff I'm kind of like, did I write that or where did that come from? Like I know a lot of it I wrote. A lot of it is from a movie called The Weather Underground, or The Weathermen Underground. The Weathermen or The Weather? You know it. You look it up. You Google. You use this. You use the Googles. You'll find it. I was thinking today too about, I was looking for my googly eyes because I have a googly eye on my forehead here. And so I was looking for googly eyes and I was like, why didn't googly eyes sue Google? You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't they come up with it? I don't know. I'm just saying. But yeah, so some of it's from that documentary. Some of it is from a documentary about Bob Dylan, which the name of I cannot remember, but it was very profound. And then some of it is from a book that is super meta, out there in the stars. One of my favorite books called Nothing in This Book is True, but It's Exactly the Way Things Are by Bob Frisell. Check it out. He was a literal nuclear physicist who then kind of dove into like the alien realms and the 10,000-year-old soul realms and the Merkaba and the levitation and the huge. I was very inspired by that book. So some of it's from that, but there's a few things that if you know where it's from, I'm not trying to like take credit. If you know it, please call me out and be like, oh, that's from such and such. Because some of it I'm like, damn, that's good. I don't know if I wrote that or not. Because I just kind of weave it all together in here. So this I know is from The Weather Underground. And it says, this ship is about to start. I realize this is what a roller coaster is. You can't get off. I'm screaming bloody murder. I didn't know. I had no idea. Kids know the lines are drawn. Revolution is touching all our lives. Freaks are revolutionaries, and revolutionaries are freaks. I like how that was doodled, like the doodle there. Your passion must have spirit behind it. Make your goals focused on your humanism. Remain conscious of how fast your heart is beating. Sometimes when you're opposing something, instead of becoming the opposite of it, you become the other side of the coin. I thought that was pretty damn deep. You can't kill a revolutionary. Rewind. You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution. Don't ever say we're going into a revolution. We're in a revolution. Now the question is, who's going to win? Then I found this sweet card, and I'm not going to list this person by name. I've gotten very sensitive to whether or not I can do that and trying to ask permission and such. But the person who said all these quotes to me was in the play Dracula with me, and she sat and we were there after rehearsal one night, and she was just giving me all the goods from her soul and telling me all of this wonderful stuff, and I haven't stayed in touch with her, and I feel terrible about it, but that happens a lot in the scary, all-consuming phase called adulthood that comes for us all. But yeah, I just happened to have this card in my car that my mom was selling, these hand-drawn cards that a little girl made. So the drawing is from a little girl that says, "I've been thinking about you lately." But then this girl in the play with me said, "You're a lily out of the darkness." And we were just venting about what it's like to be different. And I was like, why can't people get it? And I'm trying to be this, and they only see this. And she said, "But oh, dear Teal, I hate to be the one to tell you, you're a wild card." And she's talking about people trying to get people to love us. And she said, "No, just love me as an oddity. Don't try to fit me anywhere." And she said, "I decided a few years ago to start daydreaming for other people." She said, "I'm tired of female superheroes having male powers." And she was writing like a graphic novel about a female superhero with feminine powers. Because, they kind of just give them like the dude masculine, lasers out of my hands, instead of like feminine. And I was kind of writing about a similar concept, but with a muse. And she said, "Yeah, we try to make us love people the way we want, but you know what? The human body isn't ready for this love." She said, "Get weird, why don't you?" She said, "We need to be fans to our womenkin. This world is a warehouse full of caged animals." True that. She was speaking about me and said that my spirit is bigger than the whole world. Why would we be given a brain to use 10% of it? Cry hard. Every warrior princess needs to. As low as it is, this is where you need to be. So I guess I needed to read that now to myself in the now. Pretty real. This is, I think, again from the Weather Underground. "History has shown that every empire has fallen, no matter how powerful it seemed at the time. Start work on the communique." Then I wrote this one. Just a little word popping into my like alien head. I said, "Combobulism. The jumble-jumbulation of thinky thought brain bombooblification." Bombooblification, you heard it here, folks. That's all you have to do. The rest will come to you. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly. Wrote that. Whole bunch of weird stuff. Then I thought this was cool because I did my George Orwell thingy combobulation the other day. And I wrote next to a bunch of pictures of aliens and weird stuff from weird stories. "Until they become conscious, they will never rebel. And until after they have rebelled, they cannot become conscious." Yerp. Pretty much. So much good stuff in here, guys. Then I believe this is from the Bob Dylan documentary. Let me know if you know the name of it. I don't remember. I wrote, "An artist has got to be careful never to arrive at a place where he thinks he's at somewhere. You've always got to realize that you're constantly in a state of becoming, and as long as you can stay in that realm, you'll sort of be all right. I got in the door when no one was looking. I was in there now, and there was nothing from here on out that anybody could do about it." Snap, snap. Yes, yes. And this was a weird thing that I wrote while in my car in Hollywood one day. "We're all too hot to ever be satisfied. Recommended doses implied. Insatiable, me oh my, little piece of the pie. Cake, anything to muss my hands up. Wanting more, I'm sure, as per usual." Yep. I think this one was from the Weather Underground. "There's a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't even take part. You've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels and upon the levers, upon all the apparatus. And you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who own it that unless you're free, then the machine will be prevented from working at all." Man, whatever, 50 fucking years later, still trying to get that one down, huh? Wherever you were in America, you could feel that things were happening in an Olympian kind of way, that the kids were beyond their parents' command. In those days, artistic success was not dollar-oriented. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be special? That was still happening. He did exactly what the fuck he wanted to. Song and dance, man. My role is to stay here as long as I can. That's from Bob Dylan. Dylan had become a column of air. That's a great fucking description. I don't know what that is. I have to trace the origin of that story. Maybe read it to you another time. Stuff Bob Dylan said. Einstein disguised as Robin Hood with his memories in a trunk. My name is nothing. My age, it means less. If next time you see me coming, you better run. If I thought you needed my autograph, I'd give it to you. Knowing that it wasn't going to be forever, because something is happening. You just don't know what it is. I think the word is freedom. I took my clock off the wall. Nobody had a clock in there. It was like, let's play some music. What's this thing? What's that? Let's do this now. Great way to describe being. Love it so freaking much. And this is, I think, a quote from him. He said, I don't want to go to LA no more. I don't want to go anywhere anymore. End up crashing in a private plane in the mountains of Tennessee or Sicily. I just want to go home. Yeah. And then I think I wrote this about just some crazy shit. Animalistic rage. Don't say please. It really throws the computers. Wake me up. Get me high before my recital. I guess I graduated because I got a degree. I think that's Bob Dylan. But the other shit was me. Who knows? I don't know. We're blending. We're morphing here. I would never try to take credit for something he said, but I truly don't know. Finding more. I will find some more for you. Okay, then I like to do this where I'm like writing in a journal one way and then I flip it upside down just to mess with my own mind. This is a really good one. I liked finding this because I had forgotten very fully that I wrote it. And it sounds like a poem, even though it's literally just things I'm grateful for, which I really need to review right now because I'm pretty much freaking out. I'm going to be honest. But I wrote it as 2 words because Momo taught me to like mash up and mix up and tear apart words like that. Grateful. To be great and to be full of gratefulness. So these are things I'm grateful for. Kindred spirits, like minds who gaze at the skies, who wonder, who seek me. The guarded revolutionaries, they see me. Find solace and comfort in my eyes. I have found some and know there will be more. A mother and a father who would do anything for me. Who truly stand behind my pursuits, never questioning my next bold leap. They help me forge a path and never ask me to choose another one. The will to keep dancing. The music sometimes falls dull on my ear, but I still desire to dance, move, make the movement into a poem with my body, keep turning the dial till my feet spring up. A record-setting best friendship, 22 years strong. So I was 23 when I wrote this. Wow, time. Wow. It's my best friend's 1 year younger than me. A record-setting best friendship, 22 years strong. A growing wall of pictures. Yeah, we say we were sad, but look at those faces. We won't soon be forgotten. She will change this old dull world with me. Guys. A pure heart wanting truth and beauty above all else. Earnest desires, a passion of integrity. Spirit and drive for my ambitions, plowing through naysayers and taking criticism with a cup of salt, uninterested in statistics and negative possibilities. Truthful eyes I have, a true window, even when it hurts so bad they see what I feel, even if they can't feel what I see. They see what I feel, even if they can't feel what I see. Yeah. My home, the smell of flowers, the clear mountain air, quiet in a safe tapestry, comfort and bright rising moons, intricate dreams, luscious landscapes, the thrill of endless storylines, epic characters, visions of what's to come, a town, a touch, visions of what's to come, a touch of the other side. The delight for imagery. I can find solace and escape in any picture, ideas spun together, my walls covering up a world of white paint and concrete, not a white spot on the walls. A crazy imagination, even when it keeps me up all night, the way my brain weaves stories and obsesses on the characters of my wildest worlds. Without it, I'd be lost. A massive capacity for love. Even when it is pushed away or unaccepted, I hold it within myself and always have it to beam through my eyes and body. Desires, though they overlap the heart to keep wanting, they keep the heart wanting. Beautiful layers, fabrics, costumes, sparkles, more than enough to be draped in fantasy. Chocolate, the ability to buy chocolate. A reliable place to bathe lavishly. Constant attractions to others. A healthy body working fairly well. Don't want to tell her what's coming. Empathy in my heart that sometimes hurts me massively but makes me loving and attentive. Friends that want to go beyond their own needs to help and comfort me. A big, comfy place to lay my head at night. An artistic eye that appreciates people's efforts in creativity, style, persona, body, language, seeing everyone as a clear character, but a soul, too. Quick poetic abilities, a transformative language agility, deep love that almost no one knows the deep end of. It's good that my climax is yet undiscovered. A belief of immortality, the strength to say no to everyone else's version of the way things are. That's a pretty snap gratitude list, y'all. I really needed that today. So much so I needed it. Here's a little poem I wrote called To Each Her Own, Personal M.O., His Story on repeat. Skipping incessantly. Would you please remove your feet from the dining room table? Being paid in peanuts for this sheer turmoil. A play date aplenty. Boxed in. Whose list should I be on? Could you make enough to prove? And just how many profile views have you had today? Kids like to cheat. What would you give it from 1 to 10? Shoot, score! A skin knee is nothing. This is a nerve, not a bone. Funny to hate the heat so and go completely overboard, out far on the bluff under midnight's manic half moon. A hand searches back and forth violently shaking in the pursuit of one pure breath. Has any of the bottles a worthy message corked within? Did you pray over your bread today? Ooh, I know what that one's about. I ain't even gonna get into that, y'all. That was some crazy shit, okay? I've lived some different lives, I'm just telling you. This is my dad going off about modernization, and now this was 10 years ago, so now it seems even like super duper crazier. But he said, where are they writing this shit? In the deep woods of Nowheresville? Taking away the human touch. A glitch in the way they absorb. No retention. Only misguided intention to hide and be chided when the soul lets any light out. To fight the doubt is the trick. And the thick of it. In so much as has been such as... And then I wrote this about someone else. Use me as a muse, lover, crutch, breaking away from the human touch. And this goes back to my dad talking about technology and the internet taking us all over. Now, this was at a time where I had just discovered MySpace, and as I said, I was having a ton of fun on it, talking to celebrities, because they were like, oh, MySpace isn't cool anymore, I guess I'll just hide on here. So I was like, talking to freaking Daniel Radcliffe, and talking to Atmosphere, and talking to some fools online. But I had no idea how much the internet was going to take over. I mean, I felt it. I felt that, like, pull and that fear, but my dad said, it's so fucking hard to move forward, to actually advance into the future. I see so many succumb to the technology, like native men to liquor. The white man gave them a slow death they couldn't resist. The youth can't resist the pull of the technology. They love it. They literally fall in love with it. So everybody's being fed hooch. You're being fed corn squeezins and you don't even know it. But there will be a magical leaves fallen day, like a today is the day kind of day. We will either see or lose our way. So that's pretty crazy, since the internet has become this, like, way whole other monster since then. Like, way whole. A way whole. A way whole. Now here's one that I found that was a mishmash, I think, of depth and friends and quotes, and I know some of it's me, but some of it I don't really know. I'm like, where did this shit come from? I want to know. If anybody knows, please tell me. But yeah, I know some of it is my words. Some of it might be Midas's words. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think if anyone could help me get to the bottom of it, it's my friend Midas. Help me out if you know. I think you were there, because I'm pretty sure it was on this crazy piece of paper, and I'm pretty sure you drew this on the back of it. I don't know. I can't remember. So many deep dives. I said, creating this assessment of me from these minuscule impulses. What about the good stuff in the grab bag? Moloch, whose soul is gasoline and banks. Moloch, who frightened me out of any natural ecstasy, invincible madhouses, granite cocks, monstrous bombs. Find real holy laughter in the river. Oh, victory, forget your underwear, we're free. The world is holy, the sun is holy, the tongue, the assholes, everything is holy, everywhere is holy, every day is holy, every man is an angel, holy the hideous human angels, holy the bop apocalypse, holy time and eternity, holy eternity and time, holy the clowns in space, holy forgiveness, mercy clarities, holy magnanimity, holy the supernatural extra brilliant kindness of the soul. Life is not encased in one singular formula. I'd be acting if I sat like a putz at midnight on New Year's, waiting quaintly and quietly to be kissed. If I got a job in an office or held back my love, agreed to meet at a coffee shop every time I wanted to see someone because it was easy. I wish I knew where that all came from. I don't. Yeah, if you have any clues on that, please let me know. But it's interesting because I did go off on several tangents about how I was sick of grabbing coffee with people before the pandemic. I was like, man, we're all so boring now. The only way we see each other is to, you want to grab coffee? And then it always ends up being like, well, not this week, because dooba-dooba-doo and booby-dow and jooby-doo and Bobby Sue and Jimmy Jr. and all that. And I was like, okay, well, I can accept that. We're having a hard time even just getting the coffee. But I don't know. I remember talking to my therapist and some good friends, like, can we please push it to a little bit more interesting realm other than just grabbing coffee? And now that seems like a fucking luxury. I would love to grab coffee, but I still don't go in buildings. So I miss that. I miss even that. Isn't that crazy? It's like a clothing line with aliens on it, so I kept the tag. Height means nothing. Use that as my little place marker, because I use this in it was a drawing from the Bob Fursell book. And then I kind of added my own interpretations of it. But I think he said, the most important thing is the thing most easily forgotten. And then I wrote under that, hungry, horny humans, which has always been kind of like one of my taglines. And I wrote crescendo frenzy. The 8-point chakra system, flesh face, toiling, bone and soot, clockwise, female, counterclockwise, male. Sex vesica, piscis, survival, control. The void, heart, 1/2 control, sound, third eye, pineal gland, 6 geometry, spiritual. And it's got all these numbers. This former nuclear physicist came up with all this. And then this was from this crazy set of cards I got to tell you about later, but it says, convert a melodic element into a rhythmic element. Repeat. And then I wrote a little poem about this guy. It says, wise guys, wanting to escape this thin, frail layer, checking out the mirror mechanics, soft and symmetrical, beasts begging for a new beginning, innocent tactics, the forlorn war, head cradling. They're all alone, too. Didn't our mothers know what we were in for? Stale masturbation, the tick clock. Would you look at that? I almost invented TikTok. Ha! The tick clock. Fragmented Freudianisms, tongue slip, lip thumb, the pride of our species. At least I've got a soft pillow, vitamin E, sticky, finger hints. They've got us checking for wrinkles already. Oh, it started. Go push, button press. I never could do math. Woo woo, that says a lot right there, girl. I'm just gonna leave you on this one. This is an artist. Wonder if he's still around. You still around, Benjamin? Consuming Clorox is the artist title. Wow, yeah, I kept a few of these around. Local artist. Hey, if you're still around, maybe you'll magically find my YouTube channel. But I love your art. I keep it tucked in this Revolution journal. But this is from Bob Frisell, and I found it really inspiring. And since I'm feeling a bit like a interdimensional weird being who doesn't know where they fit and doesn't really know what to do with all this crazy human shit right now, I'm going to leave you on this note. He says, you too may be a higher dimensional master here on a spiritual assignment. Consider that it may have been necessary for you to become as human as possible, that in order to properly do your job, you had to go to sleep and forget. And at the proper time, be reminded of your true nature. You have done the first part perfectly. Now, it's time for phase 2. So, yeah. This is the back of it. This cool little spy man, film noir spy man. I said, if they only knew, and crossed out new like knowing, and wrote new like renew. New. Screw normalcy. Screw going back to normalcy. We don't need normal no more. We need newness. All new. And a glow-in-the-dark alien on the back, obviously. Maybe I'll shut the lights out on this last moment and see if it works as a little exit. And if not, we'll just exit on the dark. So it says, bring out your true nature. This is mine. This is pine. Apple. He loves you. I love you. Thanks for bearing with me through some really, really wacky feelings. And keep your hearts intact, guys. It's a lot harder than it sounds. Got love for you. Surely do. Nope, doesn't work. You can't. Well, it's kind of glowing. It's okay. Blackout.